Welcome to the iShop podcast, where we're enhancing the positive local buying experiences for the residents of Davie County, North Carolina. When you choose to spend your money, you have many places to choose from. This podcast reminds you to spend your money here because Davie County is home to great customer service, quality business products, and innovative business leaders. The iShop Davie podcast is introducing you to these leaders each week. My name is Chuck Taylor, your host for the iShop Davie podcast. Thank you for joining us. This season, we're focusing on the service-based businesses that enhance the well-being of our county. Welcome to episode 3 of the iShop Davie podcast. Today, we welcome one of the most prolific supporters of Davie County, Wendy Horne. Wendy is the owner of Some 5 Communications that produces our local magazine, DavieLiFE. Wendy, thank you for joining us today. We're glad you're here.
Thanks for having me, Chuck.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do a lot in the community, and I don't want to take away any of your thunder. I want you to really be able to tell your story, but let's jump right into this. What does DavieLiFE, Some 5 Communications, what do you offer the residents of Davie County?
Chuck, in a nutshell, basically, DavieLiFE offers our customers an opportunity to connect with the residents who live here in this community. It could be a service-oriented business. It may be a nonprofit. But basically, it's businesses who want to let folks who live here know what they do and what they can do to help. We also do feel like we kind of bring an extra, I guess you could call it added off-the-radar benefit just because of some of the work we do with these businesses and organizations, but what we've also expanded that work to include.
So you used the word connect at the beginning, and I really love that word because as a print publication, and I know you're going to talk later on about the marketing side and the digital side work that you do, it's really pulling together people in the community, whether it's customers to businesses, businesses to each other. It's almost like this portal that you're providing to create communication and opportunities for connection.
Absolutely. We're kind of like a puzzle because we have so many connections with so many different people, and that is because folks have welcomed and supported us. But if I know what your business is doing and I know another business is doing something and you all would pair well together, it enables us to make those connections. And a lot of times it's a very positive end result for our customers as a whole.
Good. So, we've talked about this community that you've got here. I'm curious, of all the places that you could have set up shop, why'd you decide to do business in Davie County?
Well, it's kind of two-pronged for me. I'll start and tell you the part that will be my mind talking. The other part, I'll tell you my heart.
Okay.
My mind told me over 10 years ago that our community had a lot to offer, especially what our small business community offered residents. At the time, that was really when shopping local, just that whole push was really beginning to start. And I knew our community was unique and that we really do support one another, whether that's someone who's going through, something more personal, but businesses as well. So I knew that we could really get on board with that. But the problem was, I think we all needed to have an idea of who and how do we support local. Honestly, that was why DavieLiFE was created, and one of the reasons I continue to truly promote Davie County, what it stands for, why it's unique, and really how we have so much to offer. I've often said when someone reads the magazine, I want them to walk away saying, that looks like a nice place to call home. So, the heart part of it, and that's kind of evolved over time, but it's still pretty simple. Obviously, I know a lot of folks know this is the place I call home. It's the place my husband and I have chosen to raise our family of 3 boys. When they were younger, we knew Davie was the place that we wanted our family to be located in and where we wanted to raise our family because this is where Jason and I were raised. And we wanted to have the boys, have that same type of upbringing. However, and I'm sure you can relate, it seems like I blinked and now our kids have grown up on us. I'm not real sure how that happened. We have one who's going to be a senior next year and the other 2 are following closely behind. So now my reasons are still the same, but they're a little bit the same, but I guess more on a personal level. I want my boys to see what our community stands for. When they were younger, they couldn't really understand, but now they can. I want them to see that it's unique, and I want them to know that we have a lot to offer here. After they finish their education and decide what they want to do with their life, I want them to look back on growing up here in this community and know, Davie County is the place I want to call home.
I find that so refreshing for those of you who are listening. And if you're not from Davie County, you may not necessarily know that Davie County is this bedroom community of sorts that's just to the west of the Piedmont Triad area here in North Carolina. And it really is its own unique identity, and people who are very supportive of each other, very encouraging, and really want to help grow the climate. So for you to have that forward-thinking mentality of how do we keep these businesses connected and how do we leverage this for growth, and not just for the businesses that exist now, but we've got a great crop of kids that are growing up, that are smart, that are intelligent. Some we understand are going to move away, but some are still going to call Davie County home. And how do we create an environment that makes it opportunistic for them to maybe create their own businesses, to invest in their own community, and how do we set the stage? I think that is very innovative of you to do. It's great.
Thanks. I think anytime we can kind of get out of the logic or the mindset of operating in silos, and you hear that all the time.
Right.
You can apply that for small town USA.
Want to know about the Swicegood Group? We're a brokerage and auction firm that specializes in exclusive seller representation, asset appraisals, real estate evaluation, digital marketing, video promotion, and the sale of both real and personal assets. From the coast of North Carolina to the mountains, we have sold large tracts of land, multi-million-dollar assets, celebrity estates, and even mom and dad's home and contents. Give us a call, 336-751-4444, or find us on the web at theswicegoodgroup.com.
We help people. We help people get from where they are to who they want to be. We help them clear out the hurdles that have been blocking their path to success. We help them focus on their future self, how they can succeed, their strengths, and their unique qualities. From individuals to couples to businesses, we help people discover God's hope, make wise choices, and realize their potential. Meet the coaches who can help you and learn more today at sagegardencare.org. So the next question, and I ask this of everybody, is what is it that makes your business unique to Davie County residents? And I want to qualify that by saying, look, there are a lot of publications that are out there that people can get. There's a lot of marketing resources, but tell us what makes yours so unique.
Well, I think something that does make us unique, I'm not sure if I mentioned Molly yet. If I did not, I apologize. But Molly Ridenauer, she's an account manager with DavieLiFE, and I'm sure lots of your listeners know her. But she and I work together really well, and one of those reasons is because we're both originally from this area. We've seen a lot over the years, and I believe that really does make a difference in being able to suggest things to our customers and what'll work in this market. It also allows us to tell them, hey, that might not work in this market.
Right.
So I think being able to tell the good and the bad is a plus to our businesses. Because we have worked with some of our businesses from, honestly, the ground up. We had folks when we first started who wanted to be a part of the magazine who, honestly, they didn't even have a logo. And so we really helped them sort of establish a professional-looking brand that's recognized in the community. Many of these relationships from that have expanded, and it's allowed us to help them grow their marketing efforts. Some of the things that we do outside of just the publication that we do for some of our clients include social media work, we do website development, newsletter marketing. Those are just a few of the things, graphic design. Things that they need to do. It doesn't make sense for them necessarily to have someone in-house doing that full time, but someone that they can reach out to, they can say, I trust them and they know my business and they know the area that I'm trying to penetrate.
Right.
I think that's something that kind of makes us stand apart. We oddly have not promoted this service that we offer over the years, but definitely want folks to know that we're available to help. And we'd love to talk to them about that if they think we can work together.
I want to accent that. Some of you may not know, if you're listening to the show, that my business, which is Sage Garden Care Center, went through a rebranding this past year, and you were intimately involved in that conversation as I gave you a lot of befuddled information about, I think I want to do this, and I think I want to do this, and you listened to all that, and you took it in and said, here's what I think is what you're trying to go for with the logo. Went through a few different revisions, but the entire time you were holding my hand and saying, listen, as people are looking to you and you're trying to convey a message, here's what people want to know, here's what people want to see, here's the feel that we're talking about, everything from colors to design to font type. And I think that process that was so engaging is a unique quality that you bring to the table, that you make this such a personal opportunity and investment. And the other part that I like is on the affordability side, I felt like the price was specifically related to the work that was being done. It wasn't some massive mega marketing company that was saying, we're so big so we can charge you money. But it wasn't somebody who was just learning the ropes, who was coming in and saying, here, I'll do this for nothing for you. You really did appropriate work. You did rates that were charged that were commensurate to that. And you were willing to get in there and help and do the nitty gritty and hold my hand and make me feel really good. So I think as people are talking about you and you're given that unique quality, anything that people can get to say, listen, they know the community, they know the environment, they know the businesses and the customers, they want to help you get to that place. That marketing side's huge for Some 5.
We enjoy doing that. And I think, too, it's important. Sometimes you get so in the trenches of your own business, and this is even for my own business, that it is good sometimes to sort of have that outside set of eyes to give you some guidance that sometimes you just don't think about.
All right. So with that being said, then I really want to kind of take into account what is it that customers can expect when they come into your business and they come to visit you. What would that experience look like for a customer?
Well, I can guarantee them it will not be anything fancy.
Okay.
In all honesty, if you visit my office, you'll probably find me sitting in my living room with my laptop on my lap
Right.
or with tons of stuff spread across my kitchen table.
Right.
My business started from very humble beginnings. I was, and still am, a mom who wanted to work, but I needed the flexibility to work from home. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you asked Molly what you'd see, she'd probably have a very similar description. I always laugh. Molly and I work well together because we have a lot of differences as well.
Right.
So she probably has a better looking desk than I do.
I can see that, yeah.
But, although a visit to our business may not be your traditional visit, I think you can expect, a few things for sure. Something you're going to find two girls who will think outside the box and aren't afraid to roll up our sleeves and get to work. We're not afraid of work. My business has been very fortunate. The one thing you can expect that will never change is I will never take for granted with what I've been blessed with and consider what I do as a real true representation of this community. So we're a business that wants to make this community proud, and I feel like that's pretty unique to us, and people can expect us to carry that effort forward.
Now, one of the things that I know that people may not be aware of is if you do an ad in DavieLiFE, what is included in that?
Well, there's a few different things. We want to work closely with them. I mean, and we can customize those things and what that package, if you call it, will look for. We obviously include anything that's in the magazine through our social media networks, and we're relatively active, obviously, with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and even Instagram. So anything that's in the magazine, we definitely make sure it's put out on various networks, and it's not just a drop in the pan and that's it. But again, I want to go back to if we know there's an event going on, or if there's something where we think you definitely need to be in front of that particular audience, we can kind of direct you there. So I don't feel like we've ever been, that thing, well, this is what your ad provided. It was just the print ad. We try to go over and beyond so you can say, well, it really was worth it.
So you're really talking about being business advocates. And one of the things I think that DavieLiFE also does is if you do an ad, the actual artwork for the ad is included in the price that you pay.
Absolutely.
Which is a great deal for someone who's looking at doing some marketing, but you don't have the skill set to do the ad development.
Yeah, we absolutely want to do that for the businesses. And, we've had folks over the years who they've wanted to be able to reuse the artwork they had from us in another publication or another event maybe they were sponsoring, and we absolutely let them do that. We totally consider that to be flattering. If someone is happy enough with what they've seen in the magazine, then by all means, yes, use it somewhere else.
Good. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, what do they need to do? How do they need to reach out to you?
Probably the best way, they can either obviously call or email. My email is pretty simple. It's Wendy, and it's Wendy with a Y, W-N-D-Y, at DavieLiFE.com. If they'd rather talk to Molly, Molly's pretty easy too. Molly at DavieLiFE.com.
Molly with a Y too,
That's right, Molly with a Y. You can also reach us at 336-529-8090, and we're available to talk.
And always online at DavieLiFE.com.
Absolutely, DavieLiFE.com.
Great. Wendy, thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing this story, and thank you for what you're doing in the community to really propel businesses forward. I think it's great.
Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate you having me.
All right. Thank you for joining us for this episode of iShop Davie. The next episode, we are going to feature Matt Britt with Davie Medical Center, and he's got some interesting things to tell you about what's coming up at Davie Medical Center and how they're working in the community as well. As always, we appreciate your time and attention with us today. Enjoy and have a great week. Thanks for listening to the iShop Davie podcast today. We're proud to showcase our innovative business leaders who are enhancing our wonderful community. For show notes, including links to resources we discussed on today's show, head to iShopDavie.com. Also, take a moment to subscribe to the podcast in iTunes or Stitcher so you won't miss any of our upcoming shows, and tell a friend about our show. Be sure to like the Davie County Chamber of Commerce on Facebook to learn more about all of our upcoming events. We will see you next time on the iShop Davie podcast.